Hello to all of those that are watching this week. We welcome you here to another great edition of the Tommy Maroon Sports Show, where it's for sports, and sports, all you could ever ask, especially here in Northeast Ohio, Wadsworth, Cleveland area. So as usual, we're going to have to kick it off with my trivia question of the week, and here it is. How many national championships have the Ohio State Buckeyes won? The correct answer is a total of 8, 1942, 1954, 1957, 1961, 1968, 1970, 2002, and 2014. So let's go down a level from college football to high school football. In case you don't know, high school football is like my favorite topic to cover around that area. So let's get right into the high school football stuff with the scores, and I'm going to read them off. That's right, I will read them off, and in case you don't know, there they are. Wadsworth was able to beat Highland for a 42-20 victory. Aurora beat Brush 28-0. Barberton destroyed Norton 34-2. Twinsburg eked out a win against Copley 21-20. Revere edged out Buckeye 16-10. Roosevelt beat Canton South 27-3. Ravenna beat Talmadge 25-20. Olmsted Falls beat Brecksville Broadview Heights 28-27. Cuyahoga Falls absolutely annihilated Normandy 62-0. Solon beat Hudson in a shootout 46-41. Bedford beat Nordonia 20-13. North Ridgeville beat North Royalton 40-20. And Stowe Monroe Falls beat Lake Catholic 21-13. So as you could tell, it was a pretty good week for the Suburban League. And let's look at Blue Devil Stadium on the bottom of your screen. It's the brand new stadium for Talmadge High School, a $7.8 million facility, which is pretty good, with locker rooms, concession stands, and a new scoreboard. Seating capacity up to 3,500. And from what I've seen that new stadium, it looks pretty good. I believe I was at Talmadge's stadium last year. It was looking kind of old and outdated, so a new stadium definitely means new beginnings, and I can't wait to go there soon. And of course, the playing surface is field turf, and they lost that first game aforementioned against Ravenna 25-20. So let's take a look at my Week 2 preview. Highland against Medina. Can Highland bounce back at home? Should be fun there. Of course, Highland has this one thing called the Taste of Highland. No more pig roast in case if you were used to it. Instead, it's a Taste of Highland, where there's going to be music from Highland students, Highland alumni, games, food. It's pretty much everything. It looks like it's going to be much better than the pig roast. Food, music, games, a lot of fun. Going to be a carnival there. And of course, Wadsworth Worcester. Wadsworth is looking for a big non-conference win. They beat Highland, of course, 42-20, and they're looking to win again because Wadsworth is looking pretty darn talented. And Barberton is another talented team. Same with Stowe. In fact, all 6 of those teams on the right of your screen are pretty talented. 8 of those teams, because Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy is playing Aurora. Both teams are in the top 150, and those bowl teams indicate the winners. So for those of you that can go back, okay. Time to look at the Cleveland Indians. Some hot players include Franmil Reyes with a .389 batting average, 7 hits, 1 double, 1 homer, and 3 RBIs within the last 7 days, which include the Tigers series, the Rays series, and 1 game against the Kansas City Royals. Carlos Santana is another guy that's been red hot, a .333 average with 4 runs scored, 3 doubles, and 3 RBIs. Of course, he has really been the go-to guy all season long. Greg Allen's also having a very good season with a .300 average, 3 hits, and 2 RBIs. And who could possibly forget Francisco Lindor with a .296 average, 3 doubles, 3 homers, and 6 RBIs. Now, with it being the playoff hunt being September, we got to look at the playoff odds according to our good pals at Baseball Reference. After the Tiger series, our percent to make the playoffs was at 83.4, 68.8 for the wild card, 47.4 at the ALDS, 21.9 at the ALCS, 10.3 to win the pennant, and 4.1 to win the World Series. You never know, folks. You never know. After the Rays series, everything sort of fell down. 57.6% chance at the postseason, 52.2 at the wild card, 5.4 at the American League Central, 32.3% at the ALDS, 15.8 at the ALCS, 6.3 at the pennant, 2.8 to win the World Series. Though those odds look pretty tiny, it can be a big glimpse of hope for the Indians. Now time to recap 2.5 series. Indians against the Tigers, and as usual, the Indians have really been destroying those Detroit Tigers, having a complete sweep in 3 games. Jason Kipnis, Franmil Reyes, and Robbie Perez homered on the first game of the series, and there's Yasiel Puig. That would have been a home run at any other ballpark, but you got to remember that Comerica Park is definitely one of the biggest pitchers' parks in the league. Francisco Lindor and Jason Kipnis combined for 3 homers on the next game, the second game. And on the third and final game, Lindor cashed in both RBIs, and Mike Clevenger threw 8 shutout innings. And we have really been red hot against Detroit all season long. 15-1 record on them, pretty impressive. What's not impressive, what we have done against the Tampa Bay Rays, and this weekend we got swept to them. And it was the 4th time that we have been swept all season long. The previous week coming Kansas City, Oakland, and the New York Mets. But there was one good thing that happened, and it was that Carlos Carrasco came back from his big battle of leukemia. He finally got back on the hill doing the one thing that he loves, and that's play the game of baseball. He allowed 1 run in his first appearance, but the visiting crowd gave him a standing ovation. In fact, that'll transition us to the White Sox series so far. It's so far a 1-1 tie. We won the first game here in Savali. Continue to show how he has really been under the radar. And, of course, Carlos Carrasco finally returned to Progressive Field. Standing ovation. However, things did not go according to plan for Carrasco, as Cookie allowed 4 runs, 3 of them on a home run with 2 outs, and another one on a solo shot. So back-to-back jacks proved to be the difference maker as the White Sox won 6-5. And though Carrasco has had his struggles so far, it's really good to see him back. And I would rather see somebody come back from cancer rather than see somebody who's just been struggling, because that is just very impressive. You got to give Carrasco a chance, in my opinion. He's still waiting to gel. And, of course, we got to look at the NFL. Tomorrow is opening kickoff. I am so darned excited. The 100th season of the NFL. And we got to look at my standings if we can post them up on the screen. And, yep, there they are. So, in case you can't tell, New England should win the AFC East, Cleveland the AFC North, Houston the AFC South, Kansas City the AFC West, NFC East Dallas Cowboys, NFC North Chicago Bears, NFC South New Orleans Saints, NFC West Los Angeles Rams. And for the AFC wild card, as you can tell for playoffs, I think we are going to lose to the Chargers in first round. And the Ravens are also going to be Texans. For the NFC wild card, Bears should beat the Vikings, and the Cowboys should beat the Seahawks. So, yeah, in case you don't know, the Chargers and Ravens should be the 2 wild cards, in my opinion. And the Seahawks and Vikings should be the other 2 wild cards in the National Football Conference. AFC Divisional, I think it will be New England and Los Angeles. Kansas City, I think, might lose. And though they are looking red hot, you never know. Maybe it's the Madden curse with Madden 20. NFC Divisional round, I feel like the Saints should beat the Cowboys and the Rams should beat the Bears. AFC Championship, the Patriots should really hammer Los Angeles, and in the NFC Championship, Saints should get revenge on last year's pass interference game. And for Super Bowl 54, I think the Patriots should win their record-setting 7th Super Bowl. And at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, I have my award predictions. And here they are. Baker Mayfield, your MVP. Todd Gurley is your Offensive Player of the Year, though don't be surprised if Saquon Barkley wins it. Khalil Mack should be Defensive Player of the Year. I don't know why. I don't think Kyler Murray is going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. I feel like it might be Dwayne Haskins. Going with an upset pick there. And Nick Bosa, Defensive Rookie of the Year, should be easy for him. And Freddie Kitchens for the Browns, of course, is the Coach of the Year. Excuse me about that. So continuing with more stuff, big games, why not? As if we can get them on your screen. There they are. Bears against Packers. It will be the start of the 100th anniversary season. Patriots against the Steelers as the Patriots yet again receive their rings. And then next week, Rams against Saints, rematch of pass interference game. Of course, Saints fans will forever say that was pass interference, and I gotta admit, it sure was. Next week, Browns against Rams. It'll be the first Sunday night football game for Cleveland in 11 years. Then the Raiders against Bears in London, week 5. Next week at week 6, Buccaneers against the Panthers, also in London. And then the next 2 London games are in weeks 8 and 9. Rams against Bengals will be week 8. And Jaguars-Texans week 9. Of course, London has been seeing a lot of American sports. Of course, we saw it with baseball this year, which was a huge success. Definitely a huge success for sure. And I hope they can continue it because it's been really good. Other big games, why there's also the Patriots against the Browns. What was once a great game, or a boring game, has now become a must-watch game. Tom Brady against Baker Mayfield. And then you also have the Eagles against Bears, rematch of the infamous double doink game with Cody Parkey. Giants against the Jets. Needless to say, New York against New York at the New Meadowlands. And then there's also Patriots and Eagles, rematch of the Super Bowl last 2 years. And then week 11, you got the Chargers and Chiefs. That's in Mexico. There was no Mexico game last year due to the field conditions. So hopefully Mexico can get their dose of football. Thanksgiving games are on week 13. Lions against the Bears, Cowboys against the Bills, and the Falcons against the Saints. Week 14, a big matchup, New England Patriots and Kansas City Chiefs. And then week 15, the Raiders and Jaguars, possibly the last game ever played in Oakland. And week 17, we see all divisional foes face off against one another. For instance, that's saying if the Dolphins were to face off against the Jets and the Bills were to face off against the Patriots in week 17. Now time to continue to go. We're going to look at some rookie watch. And everything is right there. Kyler Murray, Dwayne Haskins, Nick Bosa, Josh Jacobs, and Marquise Brown should be your big names to watch out for rookies. And why not look at some trending teams? The Cleveland Browns, Kansas City Chiefs, Chicago Bears, and Los Angeles Rams should be all powerhouses in the years to come. While teams are really trending downhill, you got the Jacksonville Jaguars. They may have fluked in 2017. The Indianapolis Colts, who've lost Andrew Luck thanks to retirement. Still a great career out of Andrew Luck. Just derailed by injuries, unfortunately. You never know. Maybe he'll come out of retirement. We saw that with Jason Witten, I believe. Philadelphia Eagles have also been cool, in my opinion. New York Jets are rebuilding. Cincinnati Bengals are rebuilding. And the Arizona Cardinals are also rebuilding. Those teams are teams to look out for. And my dream fantasy team is right there on the right of your screen. If we can get again, but it doesn't matter. Up there it is. Baker Mayfield, Patrick Mahomes, Jared Goff, Todd Gurley, Saquon Barkley, Alvin Kamara, Nick Chubb, OBJ, Juju Smith-Schuster, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Zach Ertz, and excuse me for not adding the kicker and my defense to it, but my opinion, the kicker should be Greg Zuerlein of the Los Angeles Rams. And for defense, I don't know. I'm going to say Chicago Bears for defense with Khalil Mack. And defense that might be their best one since 1985. Of course, we all know that great team, the Super Bowl Shuffle. Well, tomorrow you can catch the Packers and Bears. And here on WCTV Friday, there's also Wadsworth and Worcester, as we previously mentioned. So, yes, that transitions us to the end. Everything's going to be a lot of fun. Next week, as usual, Suburban League, Cleveland Indians, and why not go with the Cleveland Browns? And, of course, our trivia question of the week. What team has the most NFL championships and Super Bowls combined? That's right, I'm not saying what team has the most NFL championships or what team has the most Super Bowls. I'm saying both of them combined. Why? That's why you should watch the Tommy Maroon Sports Show, so you know who it is, because we're going to reveal it next week. Till then, see you then.